Hello, thank you for coming to my channel, Compass Starlight. This is going to be a read for the week ahead. Today I have my clarifying deck, the Visconti Tarot. I have the Mantegna Tarot, a deck of archetype cards. For the Oracle, I have the Starseed Oracle. The tarot deck I am using today is the Neon Rider Tarot, and another oracle or a deck. It's really an informational deck of constellations that I am going to use as a deck for an oracle, just additional information. So let's begin. Angels, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, divine source. What kind of messages do my viewers need to know? Of what could they be aware for the week ahead? How have you all been doing? The energy has been very peculiar to me, and time has been interesting. Time and energy, the investment, and the exhaustion level that goes with that. Draco, the dragon. Turn that one first because you can't help but see the constellation. The dragon, northern hemisphere near Ursa Major, approximate position RA15H. So that looks like it might be pretty bright, hot, and condensed. 67 degrees, plus 67 degrees. Area, 1083 square degrees. The brightest stars are Eltanin, the serpent, orange giant, magnitude 2.2. Visible stars, 79. That's a good average of visible stars. In Greek, Draco means snake, but the constellation is associated with at least two dragon myths. In the Garden of Hesperides, golden apples were guarded by the dragon Ladon, who was slain by Hercules, whom the Romans called Hercules. Among the constellations, the head of Draco lies at the feet of Hercules. Another story identifies Draco as the dragon, Typhon, a titan. The goddess Minerva hurled him into the sky, where he became tangled among the stars. In ancient times, when the star Thuban in Draco was the pole star, the Egyptians usually situated their pyramids so that Thuban shone directly down the entrance. Special features in the northern hemisphere in the summertime, Draco is nearly straight overhead, meandering around and between Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. It contains the planetary nebula Cat's Eye, with its peculiar structure of gaseous clouds that make a double loop around the bright core. If you've ever seen photographs of Cat's Eye Nebula, it is gorgeous, in my opinion. Oh, cat energy. There are a couple small body planets or asteroids that refer to cat or feline energy. Might be worth looking them up. Okay, so what else do we have here? We have baby steps for the oracle. From the Starseed Oracle, it says action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Very interesting. I was listening to someone this morning on YouTube and talking about second guessing personal decisions coming in the near future, but really we've spent a lot of time mulling them over consciously and subconsciously. It's just now is a time to take action and make a decision. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. In other words, don't overthink the choice. If you make a pretty serious decision in your life this week, commit to that and resolve to move forward, move past whatever it is you're changing in your life. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. You're being called to take grounded action in response to your soul's calling, to start where you are and begin building in a consistent way. So many people stop themselves from living a soul-led life, because they're waiting to know the destination before taking the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. Our soul is always calling us every moment of every day. The way to find yourself living in harmony with the cosmos is to listen to your soul's baby calls and whispers each and every day, and to take grounded action in the direction of those calls and whispers. You're being encouraged to start small, bite-sized, to put one foot in front of the other, to do one thing every day, to break things down into achievable tasks. Time on Earth goes slower than on other planets. This may cause frustration for starseeds, who can expect a faster pace of manifestation and thus give up before the seeds begin to sprout. If you resonate with that, it's time to opt for consistency over urgency. Time to take baby steps in the direction of your calling, to remember that you don't need to have it all figured out or know exactly where the path is leading you. You don't have to know every single step along the way before you set out on your great journey. You just need to take the next step. The Starseed Soul Inquiry asks, what's one simple baby step you can take in the direction of your soul's calling? Today, for the archetype cards, we get Melpomene, card number 17, the Servant, card number 2, and Sun, card number 44. Melpomene is the archetype for optimism. See a positive side even in tragedy. You may be faced with a challenge this week, a conflict. I actually did a reading previously for this week and lost it in translation, basically. It was very long, so that might have been part of the problem. But one thing that was clear is that there was conflict that needed to be overcome. I could easily see that in the realm of employment, work, although it could manifest itself in a relationship. The bottom line is sometimes we have things fall apart and we have to figure out how to build anew. And when that happens, it can be very frustrating and upsetting, and we can dwell on that which we have lost. However, on the other hand, we could choose to see it as a new beginning, a positive new start, and take our first steps from there. So this card, Melpomene, does fall in alignment with baby steps, because you can take the first steps on that new path into the new journey with optimism and see a positive side even in tragedy. If it is a personal relationship in which you've had a falling out and you are separating from, breaking paths from another individual or entity, if it is a business, employer, educational institution, and so forth, you could have hurt feelings over that. You could be a little heartbroken depending on how things played out. But know that it's for your best interest, because it's either not the right school for you, there is a better place of employment that is more suited to you, that will reward you more in alignment with your worth. And likewise, the relationship that fails can lead you to better understanding of yourself and what you truly want out of a relationship. The next card we have is card number 2, the Servant, Famio. Dependence. Always be kind but not subservient. This is a call to find your own path and to walk it instead of serving others constantly. So there is a way that people find a call to duty and will step up to that call. And it may be some kind of gig that is being offered to them, some kind of opportunity. Can you do this for me? I will pay you. And you need the money, so you take the offer. But you are helping somebody else out at the expense of what you had intended to do with your time, even though it does serve you to earn a few extra dollars. That's just an example of how we can set our own needs aside. Now, also, for example, if you have a health issue existing in your life and you have a lot of doctor's appointments, you need to go to those doctor's appointments to take care of yourself. And you may need some time to recuperate. Again, self-care. But your employer is probably not going to like the fact that you are missing all this time from work. Nonetheless, we need to step up and care for ourselves. We need to pursue the path that serves us, that takes care of us. Don't be subservient. If you're going to be subservient to self. Now, that is not to say if you are subservient in your position at work that you should quit your job. It is more about figuring out how you can take care of yourself within the confines of that employment situation. What can you do to nurture yourself best and also produce optimal work while you are on the clock? Again, it's just an example. Finally, from the Mantegna Tarot, we have card number 44, which is the Sun. Common sense. Act clearly and consistently. So if you are making an important decision and you second guess yourself, know that you give yourself the time and the opportunity to really consider, is this what's in my best interest? Don't overthink it. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. But do consider the pros and cons. How has the past indicated the future? In other words, if you have a history with an employer not paying you what you're worth, or promising you promotions or opportunities and then not following through, that's a pattern of consistency that they've been showing to you. The same could be true in any other kind of relationship. You fill in the blank with the subject. But whatever it is that has been showing you a history of repeated dismissal or being overlooked, so forth, not paying you what you're worth, not appreciating your contributions to a class or to your colleagues or to your church community. If you're not finding what you were looking for and you are no longer happy and history has been consistent, it is time to move forward. That is something that we see typically moving forward with the Chariot, right? That is a tarot card that indicates victory, moving forward. It takes harnessing the power, the force of power. It takes harnessing the force of power, which typically is the light and the dark side, two equal and opposing forces. We see that with the light and dark horse. Sometimes they're lions, sphinxes. They can be depicted as many different kinds of creatures, but they are the powerhouse that moves the chariot. That's what we see in the charioteer and the chariot card in the tarot. We see this in the Sun as well as in the Moon card in this deck. We have the Sun, the charioteer, being drawn through the air, drawn through the sky by these horses. And in order to move forward, they have to be in balance. They have to be equally yoked and moving in the same direction. That means that your mind has to be made up and committed to a specific direction in order to move in that direction. Just want to take a look at something here. Yes, it's very interesting. The protagonist has wings, is holding a ball of fire. That is the initiative action. But interestingly, there is a scorpion in the sky. So that can indicate the influence of the astrological sign of Scorpio. It can be indicative of death and rebirth, right? Scorpio is a sign of sex, death, and taxes. And also it could be an indicator to the sign, the planet Pluto. And that also is a representation of death. But if you're interested to learn more about Pluto, that's something that you could easily look up online, just as a planet, what its astrological influences are. Additionally, here in the card, you see there's an individual falling out of the cart. This is like kicking something to the curb. Is it an idea? Is it a partner? And that could be a lover or a business partner. And that includes your employer. It could also include a teacher, or again, like an educational institution. There's something with which you've had conflict, something that is not suiting you. It's not making you happy anymore. It's not a relationship of balance or reciprocity anymore, or perhaps it never was. And it's time to kick that, whatever it is in your life, to the curb. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. I didn't even notice here we have the Chariot in this tarot spread. So you see the two sphinxes, the light and the dark. The charioteer also wears a crown with a bright star, opening himself up to his intuition, but he is protected. The Chariot is a card of victory, of movement forward, of achieving goals. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, which suggests that the universe is bringing to you a new opportunity that can bring stability, but it requires you to follow the path and go through the garden gate. You see another archway here in that baby steps card. Follow your intuition. If you're being drawn through that gate, don't ask why. And the Tower. This is the crumbling of an old structure, an old foundation that no longer serves you. It can be abrupt, it can be upsetting, but once the tower has fallen, it gives you an opportunity to build a new foundational structure. So again, if you have a job that has been providing you stability for your household, that is a very important foundational element of your life. You need to pay your bills, you need to pay your rent, you need to put a roof over your family, your children, etc. as an example. And you continue to work at this job because it helps you to maintain that foundation. However, if the work is no longer satisfying, if it's not rewarding, if they're not paying you what you're worth, if they're not giving you the recognition you deserve, it may be time to pursue another form of employment. And that can be scary, making that decision and taking that first step. It can feel invigorating, but scary at the same time. Yet, from that decision and from a new form of employment, you can then start building a new foundation with the structure and stability being handed to you, and the new opportunity, the new employer, etc. That gives you a pretty good idea. Next we have the King of Cups. We also have the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. This is actually very sweet. This King of Cups could be another individual, either coming into your life or present in your life. This is someone who is able to remain emotionally stable, even in turbulent waters. He does not have concern about his cup spilling. He is able to control his emotions. He provides wise counsel, support, and makes sound decisions that may be influenced by his emotions and his feelings, but never over the top. He doesn't act out and make decisions in anger, for example. This is somebody that can be providing you a lot of emotional support to whatever it is you're going through right now. Somebody even that could potentially help you rebuild this tower. Somebody, perhaps, that sees you as the Nine of Pentacles. This is pre-Empress energy. It is somebody who knows how to work with their skills and their talents in the earthly plane to find abundance in the earthly plane. She is surrounded by an orchard of grapevine. She knows how to cultivate something fine. She knows how to cultivate her wealth. She knows how to cultivate her stability. And this King of Cups has complete faith in this notion, this embodiment. This is how this individual sees you. And if you don't see yourself in this way at this time, based on all the changes that you're experiencing in your life, this person will remind you of everything that you have, how awesome you are, what you can do, all of your capabilities and all of your skills. This person is also able to give you a sense of balance, reciprocity, a sense of, shares with you a sense of childlike innocence and wonder. They are open-hearted, they are kind, they are jovial. This is two people that are able to connect in a very innocent fashion, laugh, play, joke around, but also have a deeper emotional understanding of what makes each other tick. It's like knowing somebody's love language. It's knowing where they need support at a specific period in time. How would you like me to receive? King of Wands. The Fool. Hi, baby. Oh, this is my cutie guy right there, honey. Justice. Hi, buddy. The Knight of Swords. The Queen of Cups. And the Empress. Oh, beautiful. Man. That's really nice. The King of Wands here is that initiative, that initiating energy. The King of Wands makes well-balanced decisions about the material plane, about their stability, what makes a firm foundation in their reality. The King of Wands has a good handle on that. His concern is protecting his domain. He's passionate, enthusiastic. We also have the Fool here. The Fool has two sides, as all cards do. One is to make hasty decisions and make oneself a fool, and the other is to take that leap of faith. So unfortunately, you may find yourself sort of in the middle, right? I do believe that a decision to move forward and get rid of what's not working in your life is going to be in your best interest. But after making that decision, you may second guess yourself. I feel like you made a foolish choice. You can do it, however. There is justice for you at your side. Behind justice, justice has the scales of balance, showing you that they will tip in your favor. Also, the sword of truth, okay? What is the truth? You deserve justice. So if you're not getting it, you have to advocate for yourself. In the background here, though, interestingly enough, I believe, is this one. It is the Knight of Swords. There is a little bit here with the Knight of Swords, with the Fool, and justice. It's like, don't be so determined to let justice prevail that you make a fool of yourself. Right? The Knight of Swords can be a bit foolhardy. Because he's not scared of what's coming. He's very passionate about his dreams, but you don't want to let the determination outshine the logic, right? A suit of swords is intellect, thought, logic, reason. Make sure that is part of your decision-making process. We have the Queen of Cups, which pairs very nicely here with the King of Cups. This is to make sure you have compassion in these decisions that you're making for yourself, compassion for yourself as well as whatever might be falling apart, and let it with kindness, with acceptance. know that sometimes things just end. If it's a relationship or a job, sometimes things just end. You can learn to see the tragedy. Learn to see the beauty, even in tragedy. And then finally we have the Empress. Now, as I said, this Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. The King has faith in what he sees in her. There is a pair here, and he sees that with the 9, the 10, she can grow into the Empress, someone who is emotionally balanced, somebody who has the blue colors here, beautiful colors of protection. She is somebody who is balanced in emotion, balanced in thought and reason, in logic, balanced in her ability to create material stability, to purchase, spend, and invest wisely. And she is a good, healthy balance of enthusiasm. There you go, say hi. There. Come on. There you do. Oh. Hi. He wanted to say hello. He's going to screw up these cards, but that's fine. We're at the end. So, a balance emotionally, balance in thought, balance in enthusiasm, and balance in the material plane. The Empress is sort of the balance of everything. And that's very promising. If you question or second guess your decisions, know that you have what it takes to be victorious, to rise above and to build a new future. And when you doubt whether or not you made a foolish decision, remember that just plan, take baby steps to achieve your goals. The dragon energy is actually one of fiery, passionate energy. It's very much stop that. Just stop that. Because the dragon can breathe fire like the queen of, or king of swords can be cutting, right? When they breathe when they breathe fire. Yet, they are also action-oriented. It is a very fiery idea. We are in the year of the snake, not the year of the dragon, but they have a lot of similarities. And you can look that dragon symbol up on the internet as well. Also take a look at the cat's eye nebula. It's something to get you in tune with your spiritual abundance and divine source. So I'm going to end the reading here. The little guy's getting a little curious here on the table. Look what he did. Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight, and I hope things pan out in your favor. Have a good week ahead. Trust in your intuition.